Hi and welcome. When I was asked to give a presentation on sustainability and PLM, I immediately started asking myself, what does PLM have to do with sustainability? I will tell you about the start of Intrx journey on how we created digital order and efficiency with the help of PLM and Fusion 360 Manage. My name is Johan Bornerud. I am a construction engineer and mechanical engineer. I started at Intrx 1999 and 2004 I began as a key account manager. 2008 I become development manager, and 2016 I started as an operational and IT manager. 2019 I also started to developing Autodesk Fusion 360 Manage for Intrx. Intrx is located in Kumla, Sweden. It's a company who works with interior design for shops, restaurants, and public spaces. Intrx started 1983, so we have over 40 years of experience, and this time we have 65 employees. We have a turnover around 50 million euros. Then why PLM and Fusion 360 Manage? I started as a scout PLM 360 around 10 years ago. I got an idea of using PLM to manage our articles. And that's perhaps the first thing you think about when you speak of PLM. And around 2018, we were starting looking for a project management system for our store projects. We discovered quite soon that the project management systems on the market had a lack of function. Our wish was to use the information from our ERP system on, for example, customers, suppliers, and articles, products, and so on. And also using the information from the PDM system, like Autodesk Professional. The project management couldn't handle these things as we wanted. So then in 2019, we took the decision and go for Fusion 360 Manage. And today we have 50 users out of 65 employees who are using the system. Our first focus become a project management for all our stores and restaurant project. It's a rather complicated workflow from start to end. However, it was documented before, and we saw a great benefit of it as we previously had it completely analog. However, retrospect after Corona pandemic, you can say it was a bit of a luck because it enabled us to work in the project together remotely. Even today, the company allows us to work remotely in the project. This has meant that we have reduced trips to the office and therefore also reduced CO2 emissions. To get a good function of the project management, we need naturally to connect the project to people who are participate in the project. All permission are controlled by this and are also linked to various roles in the company. This has become the start of an HR system where we have a flow as well as reminders and tasks that are needed to be done. For example, a person is to be hired or quit. We have also created a workspace for all our IT equipment. This is to keep order when equipment must change user or be replaced. All equipment has a relationship with its users in the workspace employees and can therefore also handling order new equipment as well as recycling old equipment. Of course, we need to link store project to a customer. The customer and their data are retrieved by integration from our ERP system, which means that we only have to manage the customer in one place. The suppliers are managed just like the customer. From the store project, our architects get their assignments as a task, and the task also handles the articles that later in the project may become relevant to taking prices and so on. The flow in the task shows the status of where the visualization is and can provide reminders on different stages. At any time during the planning phase in the store project, the architect and the seller can add products to the tender project. From here, the purchaser shows which suppliers should receive a price request. The workspace includes reminders and milestones at different times to ensure that no tasks are missed. Once price has been obtained from the suppliers, the purchaser can evaluate and choose the supplier for each product. The system also provides the opportunity to update information about each product to the ERP through integration. When the purchaser has chosen a supplier and all prices are ready, a price report is sent to the seller with information such as purchase price and the product list. It can be linked to create from different functions of the system, but can also work as an independent task. Everything is designed to streamline and simplify the purchasing process while preventing complete transparency and control over every step of the process. The price request is created from the tender project and sent to selected supplier by the system. The request can then be opened by the supplier in a web portal and provides the supplier with all the necessary information about the request, including ability to view and download relevant documents. The supplier can then submit the price and lead time directly by the portal. In addition, the supplier can upload its own document that may be relevant to the request. To further simplify the process, there are also a special web portal for products that the supplier has already been selected as a supplier on. This makes it easier for both us and the supplier to keep track which product are current and which document are valid. The manufacturing document in the portal are linked from our PDM system, Autodesk Vault. In this way, the supplier always has the right documentation and we minimize the risk of manufacturing error. The goal is for our system to be a complete solution to make the process of price request as efficient as possible. If there are no manufacturing document when the store project is sold, an engineering task is created. The list of products is taken from the tender product so that the engineer knows which product he must produce a manufacturing document for in order to be manufactured. The projects are transferred with the integration to the ERP system with the information about which manufacturing has been selected. These products and their documents then become available to the selected provider in the web interface. Soon we will introduce a new function that through a store project with an integration with ERP can check the customer's creditworthiness. Create tasks to the finance department to send advanced invoice and then block order for packing until the invoice is paid. Well in advance, the seller will be reminded to contact the customer if the advanced invoice is unpaid as delivery approaches. This will ensure that we do not have to unnecessarily work with packing the order or creating unnecessary transport before we know we have been paid. Funny. Had to present their challenge and results. The goal have focused on, for example, reduce transport, reducing already development items, selling stock items that have been lying in the storage for a long time, but also on how we get a better workplace, exercise at the work, or other type of activities to increase well-being at work. We follow and document several sustainability values such as CO2 emissions for our freight and also on trips to and from the workplace. Water and heat uses, delivery accuracy of deliveries, and use of copy paper. Here's an example on how our use of copy paper has evolved. In 2020, we are starting using Fusion 360 Manage, and use of paper went down drastically. Reducing of use of paper has several effects. Of course, a decrease of paper use is a saving of our natural resources in form of wood, but also a saving of manufacturing process in form of emissions and energy use. Added to this is the financial savings, which means that we not need to buy as much paper as before. We have also been able to reduce the use of a printer in the office. We have also done other activities related to sustainability. For some years, we have during one morning picked up trash in our local area. Last time we challenged some of our neighbors to participate and ending the activity with lunch together and a tour of Intrx. This is a fantastic way to keep nature clean, but also strengthen the community at the company and with the companies in our local area. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Johan. Thank you for this presentation. Are there any questions in the chat? Otherwise, I have a question. Would you say that it's mandatory to work with sustainability in your line of business?
No, I would say not. We have a few customers that have that as a demand, but not in general.
But I guess the demands are increasing year by year.
Yeah, of course, it's increasing, but I would say ourselves is increasing that more than our customers. So
okay, yeah. I have another question. How are the demands for you and your suppliers to be able to provide CO2 data and other sustainability metrics changing? And what I'm thinking about there is, are your customers more and more asking for CO2 data on your products that you deliver?
Some of the customers are asking for that. Not in general, I would say. But we have no problem of giving that data and information.
Yeah. And I think you're ahead of a lot of other companies that you can deliver. I know a lot of companies are stressed about this issue. How would you say, I know you have very good control over your data from your PDM system to your business system pyramid and also to your PLM system. How important is that to be able to provide all these sustainability metrics?
It's important for us to rely on the data, and also for our customers and suppliers. Everyone has to rely on that it's updated documents and figures, and so it's very important, so that we don't manufacturing wrong products and get too many transportations and so.
Yeah. And in the time that your customers put more pressure on you to provide CO2 data, you also have to put pressure on your suppliers to provide you with data, yes?
Yeah, of course, and then our work with that has been increasing, and we are starting to focus on our sub supplier also. So we are starting to get more pressure on our suppliers to also work with this. But of course, we have a few suppliers that are quite small, and therefore we have to help them with this kind of work.
Yeah. And of course, sustainability is one of the factors, but doing a good work, delivering on time is of course also, so you can't just dump a supplier because they don't have, then you have to help them. And as you are so far ahead in the game, I think you're able to help your suppliers. A lot of other companies are not there yet.
Yeah, and I think it is very important to let the system helps you with the good system, and so you can minimize the effort to get these figures and to help this work also.
Yeah, of course. What would you say? I mean, I've said here a couple of times that I think you have succeeded in making sustainability a key factor for everyone in the company. But what's really the secret to achieving that?
I would say the key factor is to have everybody on board. You need to have the leading with you and do it as a habit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you really see with the trash picking days that management is all on board, and it's not just one person that is a little bit interested. It comes from the top down, and that's important also to show your employees that this is an important thing that we need to work with. And I also know that it's not just you. You have a sustainability manager, right, at Intrx, which is also a position that I know a lot of companies don't have in your size. So that is also like a management commitment to sustainability, I think.
Yeah.
I know you told me like a week ago that you had a customer, a big customer of yours, called you and said that, hey, by the way, we need all the CO2 data for all the products that you delivered during the year, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And I guess most companies would be horrified because I think the deadline was pretty short as well for delivering that.
Yeah, actually, they were preparing us for next year.
Ah, okay.
And I went to our CSR manager and asked, can we deliver this? And she said, we have already the data for 2023, so that wouldn't be a problem. So,
yeah.
So we were ahead of that.
Yeah, that is awesome, I think, because that question would unfortunately perhaps be an issue that a lot of companies couldn't provide, and therefore perhaps losing the customers, risking losing that customer. And as you have, I mean, you have a lot of really big customers, and usually with big customers come high demands on sustainability, for instance, because they have pressure from their investors to really excel within sustainability, and that demands then pressure comes on you to provide. And it's really nice to see that you are ahead of the game there, and just fine, we could deliver that tomorrow. Yep. More or less. Do you have any other advice for manufacturing companies that want to proceed and be better at sustainability?
Use systems and do it automatically if you can. That I think it's a key to make it as less work that you can do with these things, because there is a good possibility to do automation about it.
So make it like a daily business, just to have these information in the systems and have complete data links all the way, so that you easily can extract the data when needed. It's always there. Like, yeah, that's a good. And perhaps we should also tell the listeners that I mean, you have done a lot during the journey, and it's not your first. I mean, this is something that you don't build over a month. It's like a mission you need to have during a couple of years or more than that, to be more efficient. And so it's a journey, and you're always searching for the next thing to be more effective.
Yeah, and implement every process in the company to streamline it. Yeah. And therefore also get the bigger effect of the system. And
so at least in Sweden, and I guess also in the Nordics and perhaps Europe, when you enter a food store, it's a big possibility that you see your products there, perhaps under a lot of fruits or some potatoes or something like that. So it's really nice to know that your products are pretty much everywhere, but you don't really think about them perhaps when you. But more or less everybody has seen them. Yeah. All right. If there isn't any more questions in the chat, can't see anything. Is there anything you would like to add, Johan?
Oh, I think that's it up.
Great. Then I want to thank you very much for participating in our Sustainability Summit. And thank you everyone who has been listening to this session. Thank you very much. And speak to you later, Johan.
Bye.
Bye.